Okay, this video is a case study on how this creator we started working with went from making almost $0 to making between $8,000 and $10,000 per day. Here's a little video of the dashboard. You can see my name at the top right there. The average day, $10,000 gross. Last 30 days, $200,000. You can see we started working with her on around about the 9th of January. She was doing very well on her own for somebody who had no team. And you can see when we came in and she started to see that exponential growth. So, this video is going to serve as a full guide and blueprint for creators specifically on exactly how you can scale your OnlyFans to $10,000 a month and beyond. I've tried to condense this down as much as I possibly can and make this as concise as possible while still giving you real actionable steps to take to scale your OnlyFans. Okay, so what we'll cover in this video is the easiest platform to promote on to get high spending fans on your page today. This is not a platform that takes 6 weeks to start working. This is something that you can start doing today and you can start making money today. Next is the 3 must-have conversion rate hacks for your OnlyFans page to turn viewers into subscribers. Then we'll cover the 4-step chatting framework we use that lets you sell your content for 3 to 5 times more. You may have seen some people selling PPVs for $200, $200, $200 all to the same person. I'm going to teach you how to do that. And then we're going to have a bonus section at the end there that's going to teach you the hook retention reward short form content system that spits out viral videos. And this is what gives you that exponential growth that allows you to achieve these 5-figure days. Okay, the easiest platform to promote on to get high spending fans on your page today. As I mentioned, a lot of social media platforms can often take 6 weeks to work. It takes a while for the algorithms to learn your content, to learn who to push the content to. It takes a while for you to figure out what kind of content works for you, to get a content style and a content plan, to edit videos correctly, to script them. Just, it takes a while. This platform is not like that. Some other issues with TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts is you're pushed to a cold audience, meaning that people aren't looking for your content. You're hoping that they're just scrolling and they come across it. And this is a problem when you're often pushed to, let's say, a female audience, average age 40 years old. They're probably not going to subscribe to your OnlyFans. And it's also quite difficult to get a US audience if you don't have experience, you don't really know what you're doing if you're outside the US. Reddit, I'm sure you've heard about Reddit before and you've been told to promote on Reddit. Reason being is because you get results that day. You can post and you can get a viral post that day without the algorithm having to learn anything about your content or your audience. It's a hot audience in the sense that somebody is actively looking for your content or your style of content. And from my experience, from the data that I've collected, the people who click from Reddit to your OnlyFans are about 70 to 80% US, regardless of where you're posting from. You may, as I said, you may have seen videos on how to promote on Reddit before, and you may have gotten some very high level, not actionable information. My goal is to teach you exactly what you can do today to start making money today. First things first we need to cover is the account that you need. And keep in mind, this is only a requirement if you want to post on the big subreddits. If you don't want to post on the big subreddits and you're okay posting on the smaller ones, then don't worry about this. But this is where the money on Reddit is. You'll need an account with roughly 1,500 post karma and 500 comment karma. Now, what karma is pretty much the Reddit point system that they use to determine how much an account is contributing to the Reddit community. Let's say you post a comment on Ask Reddit and it gets 1,000 upvotes. You'll see between 500 and 1,000 karma from that. That gives you an indication as to how many posts and comments you'll have to do to get an account to this standing. You'll also need an account that's at least 30 days old, preferably 60. A lot of these subreddits have requirements for 30 to 60 day old accounts. Once you've got your account set up, again, you don't need to go through that process. You'll just need to find subreddits that don't have karma or age requirements. I will tell you about where to find those later, so just stick around. You'll want to define your niche. Now, I'm sure you've heard this plenty before, but it's not as difficult as other videos may have made this out to be. A niche can be anything from a physical feature that you have that makes you stand out. If you're tall, you can be a tall girl. It doesn't mean you need to post in tall girl subreddits. It just means that you need to center your content around that to find the guys who are into that. If you don't have any outstanding physical features, then it could be a hobby, it could be an interest, it could be anything. It could just be you scrolling through Reddit, finding a content format that works for you and just doing that over and over again. That could be your niche. It's not that complicated. It's something that you generally tend to find quite organically. Don't worry too much about it, but just find a collection of subreddits that fit you well, essentially. Just focus on that. Now, how you find these subreddits is you can either go on Reddit and you can type in keywords, cosplay, tall, or any physical feature that you may have that stands out, or you can use my subreddit list. The link for this is in the description, by the way. I'm going to talk about all the stuff that you can get later, but this is completely free along with everything else. And this list pretty much just gives you all the information you need to find subreddits. It's got about 15,000 subreddits here. It is the list that we use to find subreddits for every new creator that we bring on. You can filter where verification is not required, selling is not forbidden, to find subreddits that you can post to. It'll show you subscribers. You can sort by subscribers. You can sort by subs to post per day, which is pretty much just how competitive a subreddit is. The total number of subscribers divided by the total number of posts per day. This is just, it's the fastest way to find subreddits, and it's the fastest way to find the best subreddits as well. Yeah, grab that in the description. As I said, completely free. I just want to help you scale as quickly as you can. Next, once you've found the subreddits that you're going to post to, you want to create engaging content. As with everything else, I'm sure you've already been told this, but what this means is go on these subreddits, go to top this week, top this month, and top this year, and just scroll until you find something that you think that you can reproduce and recreate with your own twist. Focus on videos. Just don't even bother with pictures. They're not worth it. They can do well, but videos do better on average. So just focus on videos. Use RedGIFs to upload your videos. Just go to redgifs.com. You want natural lighting. If you can't take content during the day and get natural lighting, use a ring light. You don't want to use a professional camera. Everything needs to look homemade on Reddit. Viewers on Reddit want to feel as though you are a real person with real interests. When they click on your account, they want to see that you're commenting on regular subreddits, you're posting on regular subreddits, and you just so happen to do NSFW kinky stuff on the side. That's what they like. Focus on that. You then want to optimize your profile, and the way that you do this is write a very engaging bio, talk about yourself, talk about your interests, who you are, your age, what you like to do, anything like that, and then create a profile post and pin it to your profile. And make this post a CTA, which is a call to action. Pretty much, you want people who click from your post in the subreddit to come to your profile and give them a reason to go from your profile to the OnlyFans. So something like, subscribe to my free private page. I don't like to say OnlyFans because Reddit does look for terms like that. Subscribe to my free private page, 30% off for the next 10 people, or 30% off for the next 10 days, or subscribe to my free OnlyFans or my free private page and get a 4-minute long video in your DM only for the next 24 hours, something like that. Just create scarcity and urgency and encourage people to come to your profile. Next thing you want to do is ensure that you're avoiding bans. A lot of the videos that you may have seen on Reddit tell you to do a suicide method or post 20, 30 times a day. Never do this. It's really stupid. You want to grow your Reddit account like any other profile. You wouldn't post 30 times a day on Instagram, so why are you posting 30 times a day on it? So the reason why avoiding bans is so important is you get boosted posts in the sense of, let's say you have 10,000 followers on your Reddit page. When you post to a subreddit and then you post to your profile, that profile post will notify all of your followers on Reddit that you've just posted. They'll click on your profile and they'll go and upvote the other posts that you've just done. And this boosts that post in that subreddit, allowing it to be exposed to more people. So you get an exponential effect and you get compounding growth just by posting slowly and going slowly. It's not worth rushing it and trying to post 10 times in a day. You will get banned and you'll have to start again. The other reason is when your profile is more built up, you have higher trust, you have higher karma, you have more followers, you have more posts, people trust it more. And you'll have a higher click-through rate to your actual OnlyFans when they see that you're a real person and you're posting good quality, engaging content. Okay, lastly is if you get banned, you have to karma farm again and you have to make a new account, wait 30 days, wait 60 days, and the missed revenue potential in that period is not worth the slight boost that you get by posting more on your account. Okay, how you actually avoid bans is post on your phone, create the Reddit account on your phone, keep it on your phone, don't move it to computer, and only ever use mobile data. I won't go into the specifics of that, but that's just the best way to do it. You want to post 2, maybe 3 times per day once your profile is a bit more built up, and then you want to post once to your profile. Like I mentioned before, that captures all of your followers and encourages them to upvote your other posts. You want to read the subreddit rules that you're posting to and make sure you avoid subreddit bans. Every time you get a subreddit ban, it has an effect on your account's trust score and standing. You want to keep your contributor quality score on high, minimum moderate. How you do this is just by doing more regular posts and comments than you do NSFW posts. So go on the explore page on Reddit, find some interesting subreddits, find some just regular stuff, leave some engaging comments, scroll, upvote, engage organically, genuinely take time to do this. Our team spends more time doing this than they actually do posting. if that gives you any insight into how to run that. We haven't had a Reddit account ban in 3 months. Really focus on that. I can't emphasize that enough. Do not just open your phone, post, and close it. You will get banned. The way that you keep or you check your contributor quality score is go to the subreddit here and just post, type test, and it will tell you your CQS. Lastly, you do not want to have an OnlyFans link on your Reddit profile. Reddit does check that kind of thing, and it does have an effect on your trust score. So use deep links. There's a link in the description for the one that we use. We use Get All My Links, and that pretty much means that when somebody clicks the Get All My Links, it automatically redirects them to Reddit. It doesn't have a Linktree landing page. It just goes straight through, but Reddit only sees the Get All My Links, so they don't see OnlyFans. As I briefly mentioned before, if you click the link in the description, you'll get access to all the free resources in this video, which includes the subreddit list that I mentioned previously. There's also a full karma farming guide if you do want to farm karma and post on the big subreddits to make real money on Reddit. There's also a full account setup guide, how to set up your account, how to run your account so you don't get banned. There's also a section there on how to run multiple accounts per phone for when you want to scale your operation a bit more. And then there's also a list of the subreddits that we use to make money, essentially the best subreddits, like the golden nuggets. I mean, there's 15,000 that we've scraped, but most of them are shit. Yeah. Again, as I mentioned, that's completely free. Just click the link in the description and get everything there. Okay, the next chapter is the 3 must-haves on your OnlyFans page to turn viewers into subscribers. Everybody's told you that you already need to optimize your profile picture and banner. Don't overcomplicate this. Just focus on your primary features or niche. The niche that you established beforehand, focus on those. So if you're tall, take a picture of maybe a full mirror picture that shows relatively how tall you are, maybe next to a fridge or something, and then orient that landscape-wise horizontally and make that your banner picture, and then a profile picture focusing on a different feature. You can use high-quality DSLR images for this. It doesn't need to be a phone camera. This is not like Reddit. You also want to, again, make sure you have good lighting. Okay. Optimize bio. Write a paragraph about you and what your page offers. Use as much personality as you can. You want to stand out from all the raunchy, disgusting, horrible bios that everybody else is using. Keep in mind that a viewer is probably clicking on 10 or 15 OnlyFans that night. Stand out from everybody else. Talk about yourself. Be innocent. Be sweet. Or, if that's not your niche, be the opposite. Be whatever you are, but emphasize what you are. You don't want to drown in a pool of shitty bios, and there's 2 million creators. You need to stand out. You're only going to learn this by testing, because I don't know what your niche is. I don't know what category you fall into. Test as much as you can. Check how many people are visiting your page and how many people are subscribing in the statistics page, and calculate your conversion rate. And every week, test something new. Test something new and see if it goes up, see if it goes down. If you do incredibly explicit stuff, list that out in your bio. Tell people what you offer so they know what they're getting when they subscribe. If you don't, then sell a dream. Say, when you subscribe, you get a sneak peek into my life. You get to talk to me every day. You get the girlfriend experience. You get free daily pics. You don't have to go extreme explicit on this platform. You really don't at all. But just emphasize what you do and what you have. Okay, you also want to maximize your offer's value. Now, what an offer is just what are they getting in exchange for what they're giving you? If they're giving you $4, what are they getting in exchange? So they could get a 4-minute video in the DMs the second they subscribe. List that. They could get a 70% discount. So rather than doing $4, do $10 and discount at 70%, something like that. Do $9 and discount at 50%. Do whatever. You want to make them feel stupid for not subscribing. So you could say something like, get a 15-minute video in your DMs the moment you subscribe, and it's a $3 subscription fee, and you could say, get a 15-minute video for the price of a coffee. That makes them feel stupid for not subscribing. Leverage scarcity and urgency in the sense of OnlyFans gives you these tools to create 70% discounts for 24 hours or for 48 hours, or for a number of them, for the next 10 people get 70% off, or the next 5 people get 70% off, or the next 10 people get 70% off for the next 24 hours. So use those tools that they give you and just keep redoing those. When they run out, set up a new one, keep setting up a new one. You want to leverage what they give you. The 4-step chatting framework that lets you sell your content for 3 times more. So first thing you want to do is understand what a script is if you don't already. A script is a sales sequence. So imagine you had a boyfriend and you were talking to your boyfriend and you sent him a picture of you in the car and you were just driving and you had your seatbelt on. That is the beginning of a sales sequence because it escalates from there. It starts with that and then it goes slightly more explicit and then more and then more. But it's all within one scenario, within one time frame. So you want to take content with that in mind. Okay, you want to categorize your scripts into levels. So we do level 1 through 5 plus. So level 1 is non-explicit, non-suggestive, so like a regular Instagram selfie, for example. If we're using the car script example, you're just sat there in the car and you've got a seatbelt on and it's just a regular selfie. And it's just, hey, I'm driving right now, I'm coming home from work, right? Level 2 will be still non-explicit, but slightly suggestive. Let's say you're wearing a bra, you lift up your shirt, but you're still wearing a bra. Level 3 is explicit, but only the top half. Level 4 is explicit, but full body. And level 5 is anything beyond that. You can go 6, 7, 8 if you want to get into more nitty-gritty details. The reason that you want to do this is when you start a script with a fan, you'll start by sending them level 1. So you'll say, they'll ask what you're doing, and you'll say, I'm just on the way home from work, and you'll send them a level 1 in the car. And that is already pre-recorded. It's already taken, you've already got a bundle, you've already categorized and organized everything, right? Then you can hint at the level 2 and send the level 2. And now you're getting them excited for level 3 when you send level 3 with a price tag, level 4, higher price tag, level 5, higher price tag. Okay, now that your content is categorized into levels and you have a basic understanding of how a script works, you want to follow this 4-step chatting framework. Step 1 is to build rapport. Step 2 is to transition into sales sequence. Step 3 is to inflate value. And step 4 is to repeat 2 and 3 for the remainder of the levels. Step 1, build rapport. So engage normally. You're not trying to sell. You're trying to make a friend. You're trying to flirt with somebody. You're trying to start a fling, essentially. You want inside jokes. You want nicknames. You want cultural references. You want everything like that. You want maybe slight little digs at each other. Just jokes. You want to build as much rapport with somebody as possible, as if they were your best friend or as if they were somebody that you were seeing. Then you want to transition into the sales sequence. Identify segues into your scripts. Let's say it's 5 p.m. They ask, what are you up to? You say, I'm just driving home from work. And you send a level 1, which is, remember, non-explicit, non-suggestive. So just a regular car selfie. You're in the driver's seat, you're driving, you've got the seatbelt on. Send that. You also want to send level 2 for free. Don't send it in the same bundle, but just send level 1. Say, I'm in the car, I'm on the way home. And then start talking about yourself, saying maybe, ooh, I'm slightly keen or whatever. Then send level 2 for free. Remember, level 2 is, again, non-explicit, but just more suggestive. This level 2 is the key. It's 1, it's used to get them keen. And 2, it's used to test whether they are keen. If they don't respond positively to the level 2, then they're not the person that you want to send the remainder of the levels to. Then you just want to drop it, maybe carry on warming up the prospect, keep talking to them, keep making jokes, etc. Then try and initiate another sales script later on, maybe the next day. Test with level 2, see if they respond positively. If they do, then you can go for level 3. Okay. Inflate value. You do this by creating exclusivity. Again, this is a script that you've segued into. The fan believes the content was made right there for them. It may have been, if you're dealing with a lot of people, you're probably not doing this, but if you're small, you can still do this. So then you can actually take the pictures there and then. But just remember to do it per level. Delete the PPV if it isn't bought. This creates scarcity. 60% of the time, they ask for it back if you delete it because they feel as though they've lost the opportunity to. Because a lot of the time they don't buy, they say, oh, I'll come back and buy this later. If you delete that, if you take that opportunity away, they will ask for it. You also want hyper-detailed captions, so paint a picture of the content in the fan's mind before they've seen it because they want to confirm within themselves if their imagination is true. And a lot of the time, what they imagine is so great that it's greater than the reality, most of the time. If you help them with the imagination process, it makes it a lot easier for them to press the buy button. Because people are generally quite optimistic. So they see a $40 price tag or a $50 price tag attached to a level 3. They think that there is a lot of value in there and they'll start imagining what it could be. You just need to help them with the caption. Other things to do are asking the fans to reciprocate. Maybe you're going back and forth with texting or you can ask for pictures, whatever. Step 3 is to repeat steps 2 and 3 for the remainder of the levels. So let's say you've just sent level 2, they're keen, they're ready to go. Then you send level 3, you attach a hyper-detailed caption, they buy it, go back and forth. Then you repeat step 2 and 3, which is transition into the sales sequence. So then you can start hinting at level 4, attach level 4, write out the caption, inflate the value of level 4 again and again. Each level that you go up, Level 3 should have a price tag. Level 4 should have a much higher price tag. Level 5 should have an even higher price tag. So just keep going up and up and up. Don't sell stuff for the same price because, again, you're giving away more value. In return, you should receive a higher price. One thing to remember is most of the time you can charge twice as much as you think you can for a piece of content. If somebody haggles you, offer them more content. Don't offer them a discount unless they're really, if you can justify giving them a discount, then do it. Otherwise, just add more or take more and throw it into the bundle, throw it into the level if they start objecting to price. But charge more than you think you can charge. A lot of people are quite scared to charge more, and you think a piece of content that you sell for $12, you can only get $12 for, but it's actually worth $100. And that's actually one of the main issues that our creator was experiencing. She was very hardworking, and she was doing commenting and follow, unfollow, and a lot of methods to get subscribers to her page. And she would send a bundle that was worth $200, she would send it for $20 or $30. So just fixing the pricing alone skyrocketed her revenue. Okay, the final chapter is the hook retention reward short form content system that spits out viral videos. Although I did shit on Instagram and TikTok a bit earlier, they are undoubtedly better platforms to monetize on over the long run because subs spend more compared to Reddit, as on Reddit they've already seen a lot more than they would have on Instagram, so there's less to sell them on the OnlyFans platform. There's a much bigger audience on this platform. A lot more people use these platforms. They're in the billions compared to Reddit's couple of 100 million. And even less people on Reddit use it for NSFW. And lastly, Instagram is a lot less strict than Reddit. TikTok is quite strict, but still not as strict as Reddit. Reddit bans are incredibly common. So here's results over the last 30 days on our creator's main account. We have a few accounts, but this one is the one doing the best by far, and we're putting most of our attention into this one. So it does work, it just takes a bit of consistency. Okay, firstly is the hook. The hook, I'm sure you've heard about it before. It's pretty much, why does somebody stop scrolling on your video and why do they watch your video? The hook occurs in the first 0.5 seconds. It can be visual, auditory, or both. It just you have to give the viewer a reason to stop on your video as opposed to the previous 5 that they've just scrolled straight past. Keep in mind the average social media scroller has an attention span shorter than a goldfish, literally 8 seconds compared to 8.5 seconds of a fish. So the hook is probably the most important part of the video. You really have to nail it because even if the people who do stay on your video or who do get hooked by your video stay all the way to the end, it's not going to matter if not many people actually watch your video. Easy ways to do the hook are to call the viewer out by using second person pronouns. You, your, you know when this happens. Everybody knows when this happens. Everybody knows when their boyfriend says this, they actually mean this. Or everybody knows when their girlfriend says this, they actually mean this. Or you know when this happens, it actually means that kind of thing. That's one way to do a hook. Another way is to leverage emotional triggers. Here's a list of popular triggers that are used. I'm not going to go through all of them, but you get the idea. Some examples would be, I'll use Anna Paul as an example later, but in some of her TikToks, she'll show off her ice white G-Wagon in the background, even though the video may not be about the G-Wagon. Just the fact that it's in the background and it's there in the first half a second tends to hook people in, and it tends to engage them emotionally. You'll see if you read the comments of these videos, they say things like, I wish I had your car, I wish I had your life, I'm really jealous of you, that kind of thing. Other things could be money or prices. That's very similar. When Sophie Rain shows off her OnlyFans earnings, that's one of them. Politics, that's a bit seasonal, but you could definitely use politics. If a creator wore a MAGA hat in the first 0.5 seconds, that's a hook. You get the idea. Okay, retention. So now that you hooked the viewer in, you need to keep them till the end of the video. And there are ways that you can do this. There's storytelling. Anna Paul does a lot of storytelling. She does it very well. That's why she's so successful. There's rehooks, which is essentially like when the viewer starts getting bored of the video, you rehook them back in. You can do this through things like twists, plot twists, story twists. Anna Paul goes to Paris and she goes traveling around and she tells a story about she went from this place to this place, but then this happened, and then you're rehooked, you're engaged, and you're waiting for an answer for whatever that rehook was. And you deliver that in the last part of the video, which is the reward. You get tension as well, which is very useful if you're making skits. You can leverage tension in a short 6-second skit. You set up by the viewer lands in the video, there's possibly a caption over the video that makes the viewer ask themselves a question, and they get the answer to the question at the end of the video, but your build up to the end is the retention part. Retention can be as short as a 4-second element of the video. It could just be the part where you don't answer the question. If you make the viewer ask themselves a question in the hook of the video, and then you wait 4 or 5 seconds till the end. The last second is when you deliver the answer. That waiting is the retention, because you're keeping them there till you get the answer, till they get the answer to the question that they've asked themselves. Which is another important element of hooks that I forgot to mention, is try and make the viewer ask themselves a question in the first 0.5 seconds. That's the easiest way to do a hook. Reward. Okay, so the reason the viewer likes, shares, comments, or saves the video, some examples of a reward are maybe a funny reward, an entertaining reward, an informative reward I'll show you now, or in the OnlyFans industry, a promiscuous or suggestive reward.
This tip is how to not be scared of flying from a
most popular videos. I'm just going to show it to you from the beginning and break it down as to why it did so well. I think it's got about 40 million views at the time of recording this video. First frame, you can see a girl. That's already a hook in and of itself. It's not a very strong hook unless it's coupled with something else.
This tip is how to not be scared of flying from a real pilot.
Okay, so straight into it, she hints at the value she's going to deliver at the end of the video, in the beginning of the video, in the hook, the first 0.5 seconds of the video. She's already hinted at the value. Now, subconsciously, the viewer's thinking, I could watch a 1-minute TikTok video and cure my flight anxiety, and millions and hundreds of millions, if not billions of people get anxious when they fly. Subconsciously, they're thinking, all I have to do is sit through a 1-minute long video and I get a cure for this thing that's been a pain my entire life, which is a lot of value. They're getting a lot of value for just sitting through a 1-minute video, which is why the hook and the retention was so high. She then goes on to use the jelly to explain how to overcome your flight anxiety and how the plane works and the air pressure and whatever.
Flying.
It doesn't really matter.
This tip is how to not be.
It's just the reason it did so well is because of the value she delivered for the price the viewer had to pay, which was just a minute of their time. So that's a way that you can do an informative value delivery. Another one is a funny value delivery. Let's say you're watching comedians on TikTok or Instagram. You get a lot of value for the 1 minute that you put into the video. You laugh, you think it's funny, you share, you comment, you like, etc. That's why the video goes viral. That's a basic breakdown. That's with a basic example. I'll do a video in the future covering short form content strategy, how to script, how to write videos, how to record videos, how to come up with ideas, how to plan a content calendar, a content month, how to test different ideas, how to test different niches, etc. But this was just a basic overview of some of actionable information that you can take and use now to get results. So final notes, stay consistent with this. The only way that Instagram or TikTok or YouTube Shorts actually pushes your content is if you post every day or just post every day, and they can see that you are genuinely interested in pushing content on their platform, and they will reward you by showing your content to an audience. Pick low competition, unique formats, in the sense of don't do what everybody else is doing. If you are, do what you're doing on Reddit, add your own twist to it, make a change. Don't just copy the same TikTok dance that's been done 1,000 times for the past 6 months. It will not work because the viewer's already seen it before. They start seeing the video, they've seen it before, they scroll away. Then you have no hook. You've screwed your own hook by doing that. So think of ideas, scroll, see a skit that somebody's done and change the scenery, change the wording a bit, change the value delivery at the end, and create 3 to 4 variations of that. And don't forget to check out the link in the description for all the resources, the Karma Farming Guide, the subreddit list, the account setup guide, the tutorial on how to run multiple accounts per phone, and the anti-ban SOP. Good luck.